Hello there, this is Divine TV. My name is Kemi Walesin, your host on this beautiful show, She World, where we discuss the female gender, everything about the female gender, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the very beautiful. On this show today, I have an amazing guest. I call her Arabati Migbo Kijikiji. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Araba Akoni.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
We are going to discuss something beautiful today. Times are challenging. People are going through a lot these days. And we've seen a lot of people that have committed suicide. We've seen a lot of people who are depressed. A lot of people's mental health have been affected because of what is going on around us. So we are going to discuss on how to cope in challenging times, because times are challenging. What does challenging times mean to you?
In fact, challenging times are when you find yourself in a situation that requires a great deal of effort, mental effort and physical effort to navigate successfully that situation. That is what challenging times are. And what I've also realized is that when times are challenging, when you come up against challenging times, it's going to task your ability. It's going to stretch you. It's going to push you. It's going to do all sorts of things with you to ensure that you navigate or you successfully deliver, you know, concerning that situation.
Okay. A lot of times when we are going through challenging times, we blame other people. Everybody but me. The village people, the government, my husband, my sister, my parents, everybody.
Except me.
Except us. Is that the right thing to do?
No.
Or do we need to take responsibility?
We definitely need to take responsibility. There's something in psychology, I can't remember now, it talks about the external and internal locus of control. Where when things happen and you look to other people instead of to yourself, you know. It's important that we take control of our lives and take responsibility for our situations. All right? There's certain things that happen to us that we might not be entirely, what's the word now?
In control of.
Not even entirely responsible for.
Okay.
But there's a measure of, there's some part, we have a part to play in our lives. You cannot be a spectator in your own life.
Oh, I love that.
You know, you have to take control of your life. So even if you think that certain people, you cannot be a puppet, you know, that people have been pulling strings, they pulled you in this direction, somebody else has pulled you in this direction. You have to come to a point where you decide, I will decide what directions I'm going to go. All right? And it is when you do that that you take responsibility for whatever situations you find yourself. Even if it's a result of is a consequence of bad decisions or bad choices. But you need to take control of, you need to take responsibility for your situation. Then you can begin to chart a course out of it.
Okay, I'm going to cite a few examples. A lot of times we are broke. A lot of times we can't pay school fees. We can't pay house rent. A lot of things are happening. And a lot of times we blame the government. The economy is bad. It's my village people. But in the same situation, some people are thriving. So if other people are thriving, that means I too can thrive. What is that thing I have not done? The government may have not done their part, really. But what is that thing me, myself and I have not done that makes this challenging time to come? I remember one training I went for a few years ago. And the man was talking about how wealthy people and poor people reason. And he said a poor person will come and say, I have an emergency. My wife is in labor.
And you had 9 months.
And when you go to the wealthy person will tell you, you are not in my budget for this month. I have budget for next month and you are not part of it. Come back in 2 months' time. Obviously, labor will not wait for 2 months. So you go to another poor person who wouldn't mind giving you whatever he has to solve that problem. When I heard that, I was like, what kind of reasoning
Is this?
is this? But when I realized that if you don't plan your life, life will plan you.
Wow.
So a lot of the challenging times, yes, they are challenging. But the point is, what role am I playing? How did I bring this upon myself? Why are other people thriving and I'm not thriving? I'm not saying there are not challenges. I'm not cutting out the point that life could be challenging at times that you don't even know what to do. But the point is, what responsibility are you taking, especially for that thing that has happened? Do we get opportunities from challenges?
Definitely. Definitely. Like I said earlier on, challenging times are situations that will task you mentally, they will task you physically, they will push you out of your comfort zone, as it were. You know, a challenge, if you embrace challenges, all right, it can actually make you better. It depends on your perspective. Like what you said earlier on, you can have two people in the same situation, yet one is thriving and the other one is depreciating, so to speak. It depends on perspective and attitude, all right? If the one that has an I can do attitude, I can do all things, if he's a Christian, I can do attitude or a positive mindset, can begin to look for ways to navigate out of that situation and turn it. You turn the stones into stepping stones instead of stumbling blocks, all right? But the other person is there feeling sorry for himself. You know, why me? Why me? Am I the only one? Why me? Nigeria has happened to me. And because you are having a pity party with yourself, you will never be able to see the opportunities that abound in every situation. And there are opportunities in every, like my husband and I were talking last night, that in this Nigeria now, that some people are complaining, people are building houses.
Yes.
People are buying cars.
Yes.
People are doing all sorts of wonderful things. And there are some people right now who things are really, very, very bad for. So it's a matter of sometimes marrying the divine with the natural. Okay, we ask for the help of God. But what are you bringing you? What are you bringing to the table? What are you doing with what you have? All right. Somebody will tell you that Nigeria is bad, economy is bad, things are kinikon, and it's a global matter. So whatever gifts that they even have, or the gifts or talents that they have, they will not do anything with it because the environment, as far as they're concerned, is not conducive. But some will look at that same environment and says, this is fantastic manure. This is manure that can cause this thing to thrive. So it's a perspective thing, really.
I love that. Number one, I want us to go back to the talents. When Jesus Christ was talking about that parable of the talents. The person that got 5 multiplied it.
Yes.
It became 10.
10.
The one that got 2 multiplied it. It became 4. The one that got 1 buried it.
Complained. Complained.
And because he buried it, he didn't get anything.
Nope.
Even when the master came back, the master wasn't happy with him. Took that 1 talent
and
gave to the person that had more.
Yeah.
One other thing I've realized is what we call the law of attraction. It's a law, just like the law of gravity. It's a law of attraction. If you are complaining about situations are bad, bad things will be coming.
It's like a magnet.
Yes.
Okay.
You just be attracting all of them.
Somebody puts it this way, it says your life flows in the direction of your most dominant thoughts.
Yes.
So whatever it is that as a man thinks, Proverbs 23:7.
So he
as
is.
a man thinks,
So he
now so
is.
he be. Now so he be. So if you are thinking, why me, it will always be why you.
Yes.
But if you are thinking, why not me, then your opportunities will begin to rush you. You begin to rush you.
That is it. That is it. When it comes to challenging times, because challenging times will come.
Will definitely come, always.
But what are you seeing from that challenging time? If the challenge come and you're saying, God, this is taking me to the next level. What do I need to do to go to the next level? So obviously you've seen that as something that takes you to the next level. You're not seeing it as something that is ready has come to bury you. Because we are waiting for it to bury you,
Of course, of course.
So when you look at it as saying, what can I do now?
How can I
optimize this? I remember years ago, when you want to buy milk, you buy a full 400 milligram of milk. That was what was happening. You want to buy your detergent, you buy your detergent
in bulk.
But it came to a time We called it austerity then. Then a company came and said, what can we do with this? Begin to sachet things. 10 naira,
Sachet,
5 naira, 2 naira. Before the big companies joined, they've made money. They've made a name. A challenge
was turned around to opportunity. Same thing with pure water.
I'm coming back. We are going to go on a short break now. And when we come back, we are going to discuss on how to navigate challenging times, how to deal with challenging times so that it doesn't consume us. Instead, for us to progress from it. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Enjoy inspirational, informative, and soul-lifting Christian programs such as Christian Parenting and Homefront, Light After Darkness, Fulfilling the Mandate, Kids and Bible, Movies Review, Shepherd's Spouse, Kingdom Stars, Teens Perspectives, My Next Gospel Event, and lots more on Divine Television. Download Divine TV mobile app on Google Play Store or watch on our YouTube channel. You can also visit www.tvdivine.net. Divine TV, enriching souls through the gospel of Christ.
You're welcome back. If you are just joining us, we're having an interesting discussion on how to navigate challenging times, how to deal with challenging times to our own benefit. My guest here is still here, Araba. We are talking about how sachet water came back, what we call popular
pure water.
Pure water.
A long time, before the advent of pure water, like the way we call it in Nigeria, a friend said God gave me that idea that, that time they used to sell ice water
Yes.
in 10 naira pouches, in nylon bags, in bus stops and all. And that God gave me an idea that why doesn't he put it in proper pouches and seal it? And he was thinking, why would he begin to sell water? Him that is a graduate. How can he begin to now be putting water in pot and be selling water? That he was shocked when he saw pure sachet water on the streets. And when he first came out, it was a million naira generating business.
Up till now.
He couldn't believe it, So he saw it as something demeaning, beneath his level, not realizing that if somebody can make money from poo, okay, how much more water? How much more water? So everything, the big companies saw that as an opportunity to scale down. People might not be able to afford 400 grams of milk, but they can afford 10 grams, 50 naira, 100 naira. That is okay. 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 So even for us personally, when we're going through challenges, it's for us to see a challenge as a tunnel. See it as a tunnel because there will always be light at the end of that tunnel. And then see whatever it is that you're going as a passing through phase. You're going to pass through it. This one is not going to swallow me, like you said. It's not going to consume me. No. I'm going to pass through this. I'm going to come out triumphant and victorious. But you see, your mind has to be engaged for you to be able to see a way out of whatever dilemma, whatever situation that you have. A lot of us, when we come up against, when we have issues, all right, we generally just go into panic mode. And then we can't think.
Yes.
And then fear comes in and you're confused. And when you're confused, you cannot function.
Obviously.
So we need to learn when we are going through issues, when we have issues that come up against. You see, I said earlier on that challenging times will test you.
Yes.
All right? So see it as your capacity building experience.
Wow.
Some people have to go to Harvard. Well, that is your own Harvard.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
And you see the kind of challenges that God will allow us to go through are unique to each one of us, depending on what your assignment is. Okay?
That's true. My
own challenges will be unique to me because of the assignment that I have. Same as your own challenges because of the assignment that you have. So my friend's father will say, oh, Gia Ologban, tan teacher. All right? If you experience are things that you gather, things that you learn, all right? Or going through challenges, you learn how not to do things, you learn how better to do things, you know how better not to navigate this thing, and then you are a better teacher to somebody else.
That is it.
Okay? I've gone this path. Don't go there. You. If you travel this path, this is what's going to happen. But I say, I've gone this path, this is how you should do it to ensure that you get the best out of this situation.
When we look at challenges, there's something we say in psychology. Energy flows in the direction of focus. what you focus on will grow. Think of that time you were thinking of a red car. You'll be surprised every car on the road will just suddenly be red.
Yes.
When you're thinking about Toyota or any car anything you're thinking about, look around you, you begin to see them. They are not new. They've always been there. But because your focus was not on them, that was why you were not seeing them.
That's right.
When you're going through challenging times and you're looking at it as saying, okay, like you said, I'm expanding. I'm building capacity.
Yes.
What am I building this capacity for? What am I focused on? When I get out of this challenge, what do I want to do?
Do with it.
How do I want to do it? What do I want to get out of it? I've gone through a challenge that almost consumed me. It almost consumed me because at a point I was suicidal. I attempted suicide. Fortunately, God said, this assignment, you are going to do it. And he gave me life. It didn't happen. And because of that now, I speak all over the world because of the challenge I went through. And I'm able to tell people, if I'm able to get out of it,
so can you.
So can you.
Yeah.
So it is not out to consume you. One thing is, if you don't focus positively, I like how you started that, positively, successfully. Because a lot of people, when they start going through challenges, they go the wrong path. And that's why you see, use what you have to get what you need or what you want. A lot of women have become prostitutes because they've gone through some challenges. These same challenges, some people will go through it. They'll go to the bus stop and begin to hawk water.
Or begin to sweep.
They begin to do things. I'll give an example of something that happened to a young guy. He's no longer a young guy now. When he did his first degree, he didn't get a job. He did his second degree, didn't get a job. But because his pastor is always preaching that there is always a job for everybody, you may not like it. He decided to go to Idumota to be helping them offload from the containers. So he was doing that, he was getting his daily bread from there. Until one man came there one day and was trying to get the owner of the container, he wasn't around. While discussing with him, he saw him discussing intelligently, perfect English and all that. And I said, what are you doing here? And the guy said, I'm a graduate. I didn't get a job, but I need to feed. So this is giving me my daily job, daily bread. The man gave him his card. Say, see me. When he got there, they just gave him an appointment letter. And the guy was like, you didn't interview me. He said, I don't need to interview you. You're educated, number one. You are not a thief. Number two, you are not lazy. So anything that will give you money, anything that will give you, feed you legally, legitimately, you will do it. That's what I want. He employed him. This guy went on to work in telecommunication companies. He's an MD of a company in Nigeria today.
Wow.
But where did he start from?
Offloader.
Because the challenge, he didn't allow the challenge to consume him. That's why you see our boys will say, hey, there's no job, that's why I'm into Yahoo. There's no job, that's why I'm into ritual. This, all the things they are saying, there are jobs. Like my late bishop will always say, there are jobs. You may say you don't want it.
Because they want to get to the...
Washing of cars.
They don't want to climb.
Is a job.
They want to jump.
Washing of clothes is a job.
Sweeping of people's compounds
is a job.
Is a job.
Going to mile 12 to sell baje yam
is a job.
Is a job.
Is a job. Is a job.
So a lot of people have been able to get through their own challenging times by focusing on what can I do here.
Enjoy inspirational, informative, and soul-lifting Christian programs such as Christian Parenting and Homefront, Light After Darkness, Fulfilling the Mandate, Kids and Bible, Movies Review, Shepherd's Spouse, Kingdom Stars, Teens Perspectives, My Next Gospel Event, and lots more on Divine Television. Download Divine TV mobile app on Google Play Store or watch on our YouTube channel. You can also visit www.tvdivine.net. Divine TV, enriching souls through the gospel of Christ.
You're welcome back. If you are just joining us, we are discussing how to navigate challenging times and become successful. My guest is still here, Araba. One thing I've realized is When we seek help, like we have discussed, you get better. You're able to do better things. And one other thing is challenges can actually make you grow.
Yep. Yep.
There's a school of thought that says when you keep having a particular challenge, you are being told you have not learned a lesson. That thing I want you to learn from this, you have not learned it.
Yeah.
When you learn it,
You will graduate.
you will graduate. So a lot of times when we go, because we go through some recurring challenges, and we now look at that mama, we look at that man
Or destiny.
And
your mom.
or a lot of things we attribute it to. Meanwhile, we are not learned to know that, you know what, you need to move from this level and graduate to do something better. That is your purpose on earth. So that happens to us a lot of times. One thing I want us to discuss particularly now is when we are going through challenges and those bad advices come, because they do come, what should you do? How are you able to know this
To
is
sift.
bad or this is good? How do you sift the advices you are receiving?
I think you sift first from the people that you're talking to. That's where that's the first sieve that you use. The people who are you talking to? Because I'm not saying this to put anybody down, but let's assume that you're a poor person. Poor in mindset, poor in cash. You are poor, gong. Even the poor call you poor. Okay? And then now you have a financial challenge, and you are going to speak to your fellow poor people to ask for advice. Please, what kind of advice? What is the quality of the advice they're going to get? Okay? So the first sieve is the people that you're talking to. If you're looking for advice, look for people who are better than you in the area where you have a challenge. You cannot have a challenge in your marriage, for instance, and we all go through challenges in our marriages. Challenge in your marriage, and you're talking to somebody who has not had success in that department. All right? Or you cannot have a challenge raising your child, and you're talking to somebody who is a 21st century parent that cannot even, her children do not even obey her. That's what I'm talking about. So the first sieve you put in place is the quality of people, the people who are you talking to. If you need help, go to people who are slightly, superior than you, have better understanding than you in that area. If you are looking for a financial advice, looking for financial advice, go and talk to somebody who at least is earning 25,000 naira a month and is saving maybe 5,000 naira. Okay, that person can advise you. So I'm not saying go and look for a billionaire, but the quality of people that you ask, because I can only give you as much as I have.
Yeah.
All right. If my mind is not a 100,000 kind of mindset, I cannot give you advice of that at that level. So the first sieve you put in place is who are those that you're talking to. So do not allow your problem to push you to become a town crier and be talking to everybody. Be talking to everybody. Be mindful who you're talking to. And then as you are asking people for advice, what exactly is your motive for talking to people? Some people are talking to people because they want pity.
Yeah. Pity party.
They want sympathy. Or they want a solution. So what do you want? Do you want a solution or do you want sympathy? I would rather you give me a solution. Sympathy, I can sympathize with myself. I would rather you give me a solution. So it's important that if you are mindful, okay, you are sensitive and you're careful about people that you talk to, then the issue of good and bad advice, because really, if you're going through a situation, how do you even know that one advice is good or one advice is bad?
That is true. That is true. Because you are so overwhelmed.
You are overwhelmed and you don't know. If you knew better, you will not be in that situation. Abi, if you knew what to do, you'll not be there.
That's true.
So the best thing is the people that you're talking to are very, very important. Very, very crucial.
What do you say to the things we tell ourselves? I mean, how are you? I am managing. Nigeria is not allowing us to go forward. Nigeria
will not happen to us.
Negative things.
I weep for my country. I weep for my gender.
What is all that?
Self-talk. Because I believe that our voices, I hear my voice more than anybody else's in a day. Okay, so it's important that we train ourselves to make sure that we are hearing the right things. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can hear twice as much as we speak. So sometimes it's okay to stand in front of a mirror and talk to yourself. Araba, you are plenty.
Yes.
All right? You are the crown of God's creation. Okay? After you, there's nobody else. You are in fact, God tried. He must have created you on the 6th day. That was why he needed to rest. That's why he needed to rest, because he did God's workmanship. All right? So you need to talk to ourselves, and as much as possible, like something you did well on break, okay? Catch yourself, hold yourself back, call yourself back to order. If you find yourself begin to say things that are negative, all right, I'm managing, okay, nobody can help me. Try and remove negativity, really. And I know that it's difficult for a lot of people, because life has dealt very, very badly with them, that they cannot find anything.
Any good thing to say.
You know, but the fact that you're still alive means that God is still interested in you. It's not over yet. It's not over. That you're still here, that means that there's for God to have kept you here, there's a reason why you're still here. So why don't you begin to ask God to let you to allow you to see yourself the way he sees you. And God does not see any failure. Bible says when he created all of us, he said it is good. So you are a good and you're a perfect gift. That is my own personal scripture, Ephesians 2:10. I am God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus. So always say the good thing about yourself. Of course, if you're a believer, you have to get into the word. That's how you know what God has said concerning you. Bible says that God has freely given us all things. If you do not read the Bible, how will you know things that have been freely given to you? But try not to be saying, don't be following people to be saying negative things. I'm grieved, I'm offended when people say stuff, negative things about the nation, negative things about people, about our leaders. We all know that these things are bad. So since the times we have been talking negatively about it, how has it improved? So why don't we begin to say the things that we want to see? Let's begin to say, it doesn't mean that we cannot be critical, but let us begin to say the things that we want to see. So, and that starts with you, all right? So you're going through a bad situation, you're going through a bad patch, you're going through a bad marriage, you're going through a bad financial, you're looking very bad, you're not even sure where your meal is going to come from for tomorrow. Why don't you begin to declare that the God that is taking care of cockroaches, that is taking care of goats, that is taking care of things that do not have any consequence, is your Father, and therefore he will take care of you. And begin to call from the east, from the west, from the north to the south. Begin to call helpers, people that will help you manifest that which God has put on the inside of you. Begin to consciously begin to do those things. You see, you might not begin to see the results today, but then you didn't start speaking negatively today.
Today, that's true.
So what you're seeing today now is the summation of the things that you have thought and said about yourself in times past. So if you want to begin to see something different tomorrow, start from today to begin to say something different.
What is your last word for us on this show today?
So I think it was Robert Schuller that said, tough times last, tough times don't last.
Yes.
But tough people do.
Yes.
All right? Whatever it is that you're going through, and I do know that you might be going through a lot. We're not trying to, downplay that or say that or invalidate whatever it is that we're going through. But everybody is going through something or the other. The important thing is for you to go through it. Don't allow that thing to stop you. Don't allow it to truncate you. Don't allow it to stagnate you. You're going to pass through that thing because it's just a tunnel, all right? You will walk through it and you will see that light at the end of that tunnel. Stay strong, all right? It is well.
Thank you, Araba.
Thank you so much.
Remember one thing. Is a saying that says, this too shall pass. Remember that challenge you went through 10 years ago, that one of 20 years ago, even that one of last week or last month. It has passed. We have gone to another one. That means challenging times are not to consume you. It will pass. Just hold on. Do all you need to do. Hold on to God, and it shall pass, and you shall be successful. This is how we end this show today. I wish it can continue, but we need to go. Thank you for staying with us. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Divine TV, and download our app on Google Play Store. I'm sure you'll be happy you do. This is still Divine TV, and my name is Kemi Iwalesi. On She World, where we discuss everything about the female gender, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the very beautiful. See you some other time. Thank you.